welcome learners to this very interesting and useful session about tackling the menace of infodemic. I am Padmini Jain, Assistant Professor, School of Journalism and New Media Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. And it is very, very important and also useful for our mental and physical health to know what information to believe and what to keep out of our minds in today's era of information flood. Today, we have news which is sometimes real but sometimes fake. We have rumors, we have advice, we have historical and mythological facts, fantasies, figures, and so many other things which come to our telephones, our mobile phones, our TV channels, our newspapers, and most of all, to our social media accounts like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and earlier even TikTok. This information is so much that we sometimes get bewildered as to what to believe and what not to believe. What is true, what is false, who is fooling us, who is our well-wisher? Don't worry friends, today we shall learn to deal with this information flood which is referred to as infodemic. And the case in point today would be Corona, the COVID-19 and information related to it. It is of utmost essentiality in our lives to know and to be able to intelligently weed out and sift out these informations. There is a mix of truth and falsehood which creates panic and sometimes even trust factor in our minds. And when the information is coupled with real and false facts, it becomes all the more difficult to know what to believe and what not to. Friends, why is it important to deal with the infodemic? The physical effects on those infected with the mental trauma or the fear which almost everyone faces in today's times of this disease which is COVID-19 are known to us. Person might fall sick, he might lose his health, and even death in extreme cases might occur. But there is so much more which goes unnoticed. That is the mental trauma. The fear of not knowing how this pandemic is going to play out in terms of economic, physical, and mental well-being is riding high on all of us. It is a new thing in the world. Neither do we know, nor do the governments, nor do the medical or the scientific community knows about it. This is such a novel thing that it creates the fear of unknown, the fear of what will happen. I might fall sick, will I lose my job? How will the financial, economic and the social situations play out? So in such situations, how do we deal with this immense information that is thrown on us? The governments, the health organizations, everybody is feeling the pinch of this information flow equal to the pinch of the pandemic. Pandemic is a health problem, but information is so much and it is misleading at times that it has been called the infodemic. As media students, it is important for you to know what this term, because it is a new term in the media literature, entails and means. So infodemic is a combination of all the misinformation in public domain. Whatever wrong information in forms of fake news, rumors or deceptive information is being floated in public domain is covered under infodemic. Huge amount of misleading information is circulating online related to COVID-19, from fake medical information to speculations about government responses. And people are susceptible to social media posts from apparently trustworthy sources. There are times when you trust the source, you feel my friend or my relatives have sent this information to me, and therefore you're more vulnerable in believing it. Amplified and spread by copy pasta. These posts make each new post look like an original source. So copy pasta is a new term where somebody copies a message and pastes it and sends it to your social media account. If it was just clicked forwarded, you would see a message called forwarded. You would know it is a message which has reached me after maybe many reams and layers. But in the case of copy pasta, it becomes all the more difficult to separate the original from the fabricated message. It makes it hard for social media firms to filter these messages out. So all the social media firms are putting the filters, but these copy-pasted information becomes very, very tough for them to be filtered. So this is what is infodemic. Now, an important component of infodemic is fake news. The fake news is the information that is deliberately fabricated or published with the intention to deceive or mislead others into believing falsehoods or doubting verifiable facts. And fake news can emerge from n number of sources. It can be the social media, sometimes even the newspapers or news channels fall prey to it. It can even be the state or the government which displays and circulates the fake news unintentionally, undeliberately and unknowingly at times. Fake news can further be divided into various types, which is misinformation, disinformation and malinformation. Mis, mal and disinformations are separated based on the categories of whether they are deliberately being circulated or they are unknowingly being circulated. Sometimes an information is correct, but the context in which it is circulated becomes dangerous. So this is how these three kinds of informations are separated. Now let us look at this in context of COVID-19. Since this pandemic has arisen and come to our lives since January internationally and almost in mid-March in India, we have all heard so many rumors and fake claims related to COVID-19, that what is COVID-19? At times, we heard that it is a bioweapon which is thrown into by one country who wants to become a superpower, and therefore it is trying to destroy the world by this bioweapon which was manufactured in its labs. We also heard that it is a spy operation where the medical business strategy is being used to put one company over another. We have all seen such videos being circulated on our social media which claim, oh, this is not a real disease, but only a medical company has propagated this disease into the world. The panic reactions are being fabricated by some companies where they want to gain from it economically. We also heard that it is a population reducing conspiracy, that there are some scientists who believe that the population of the Earth planet has become so much that we need to do something to reduce it. Also, rumors about it being a religious mission or a terrorist activity, it is an industrial sabotage or a stock market correction activity, etc., etc., etc. So from a bioweapon to religious to terrorist to scientific to government or state remedial activities, COVID-19 has been projected to be so many things, whereas now we know after so many months of living with it that it is nothing but a virus which has come new, and therefore we are trying to find a solution to it, that a vaccine is not there which is being found and tried by different scientific labs. But all these rumors were so properly and so convincingly floated on our social media that we tended to believe in them. And many of us have held a drawing room discussions or intellectual discussions based on these rumored or fake videos, audios or text messages which were put on our way. We have also heard about how it can be prevented, what are the possible treatments, self-medications, vaccinations, homemade remedies, and then in such situation it becomes a health hazard for us. When we believe in non-trusted and non-tested medical information and we try to experiment it on ourselves, then it becomes so dangerous that we can even lose our lives along with our healths. We will, as we progress in this discussion, see that how so many medical claims have been put forth. Friends, I have included some cartoons in this which were published in Assam Tribune and have been used by Trust, which is Anamika Ray Trust, to publish this. They have even come up with COVID Katha, which is a book on platforms which are e-platforms and the real book, where they discuss all this. So these cartoons would tell you that how the pandemic is so dangerous. Here, the virus is saying you will take the health away, but the virus of infodemic says that I will poison the minds of the humankind through social media. Now it becomes very important to know that how does the information virus get spread. We know that how the health virus gets spread. It spreads through a mouth or a breathing. It is it rides on certain water droplets. That's all the doctors and the government have been telling us. But how does the information virus get spread? It gets spread by bots, which are robots, which post multiple messages to multiple hundreds and thousands of people in just the click of a button. Through suspicious activity on the internet, this disinformation or manipulated information gets spread. And when it comes to our accounts, we either share it, retweet it, follow it, or like it, and then through us, it again spreads. Forwarding spreads a lot of information. Let us see this by an example. You have, if you would remember, played a game called Chinese Whisper in your childhood, where a group of children would stand in a circle and one kid would utter something in the ear of another kid, and so many children would actually keep on repeating that word. By the time that word came out from the last kid, it was usually very, very different from what the first child had said. Something similar happens to the spread of malinformation or to the spread of infodemic on social media. BBC conducted a research on this. There was a message that came to all our social media accounts, and we would have all heard of it. It was an audio message or sometimes even the form of a text message, which claimed that some uncle of a friend of mine is working in a laboratory in China and he has told this and this about the corona or COVID-19 pandemic. So how this information actually came to us is an interesting story. Let us revolve around this. And this is what BBC has reported on its website, that how they came to know about the spread of this particular kind of information. So this is a story of how one post went viral. This is a BBC trending story. It is dubbed as Uncle with Master's Degree. This is a post because of the alleged source, which the uncle has a master's degree in medicine. So this source became a trustworthy source for believing in the information. So it actually hopped from the Facebook profile of an 84-year-old British man to the Instagram account of a Ghana TV presenter, and this presenter actually showed this news on his channel also. Through this, many Facebook groups of Indian Catholics picked it up, and then specific formats on WhatsApp groups and Twitter accounts got transmitted. In general, people who share and spread this malinformation are not foolish or stupid. Actually, this information contained some facts which were true, and along with it, certain facts which were false, and therefore it became all the more tough to actually relegate it as being a fake piece of news. It is easy to get duped if you are anxious. The uncle post is a blend of truths and nonsense, and therefore we become more vulnerable. So I'll now give an example of this. This post, if you would have heard on your WhatsApp, it said almost in your language, if it was Hindi, Tamil, Gujarati, Malayalam, whatever your language was, this post was actually posted in almost all the languages, and there was an audio message that said, "Oh, I have an uncle who is a scientist in a laboratory in China, and he has told me to tell all of you that COVID-19 is a disease which has been produced by China in its laboratories as a bioweapon to wage the third world war on the world, and the only cure for it is if you drink silver nitrate or you have warm water throughout the day. There is no other cure, blah, 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 blah." And then more information got added to it as it got circulated. Now, where it is true that it is a virus, it is not true that it was manufactured by China. It is not true that silver nitrate can cure it. So true and untrue facts got imbibed, and this information circulated. Now this cartoon on your screen says that you celebrate April Fool's Day only on April 1. But if you tend to believe in fake information, you are getting fooled all 365 days of the year. Friends, you can estimate the power of fake news by this statistical information that says that posts from the websites of US Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and WHO received only 3,64,000 plus engagements on social media as compared to all the sites that combined about the misinformation of COVID-19 received more than 52 million engagements, which is 142 times more than that of the legitimate source information. So misinformation tends to spread more quickly and to more people than the real information. And therefore, we need to worry about it. We need to worry because huge amount of misleading information is circulating online about coronavirus, which ranges from dubious health claims to speculations about government plans and even conspiracy theories, which also contains tips and advice Some are true, some are benign, some are possibly harmful to us. It is being circulated on all our social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter and elsewhere. Criminals and hackers are exploiting this situation to get into your... So now that we know that fake information is such an infodemic, it is a huge problem. Let us now see how to spot the fake news and how not to be fooled by this. It is good to be skeptical. If somebody says, oh, you're very skeptical and you don't believe in people, it is a good thing if you are exercising this quality over social media. If something seems wrong, please be aware of it. Check your source 1 time, 10 times. If there is a source or a language that appears to be a little dubious, please, your alarms should ring. Double check on a quote that is being given. You must always look closer to a video or a picture. If there is a picture being circulated, you should zoom into the picture and you might probably get signs to spot the fakeness. I'll give you an example. There was a very common video being circulated that said that in Iran, the police are invading the shops. But when you zoomed into that video, there was a Spanish door sign on the shop. That means it was not of Iran. So such things, or maybe the dresses that people are wearing, their clothing, road signs, or the language they are speaking can usually tell you that if the place or the time of occurrence in the video that is being claimed is different from the reality. You must always look closer into the pictures. You must always be able to detect suspicion by names of the person, and if you check the timelines, images or accent of how they are speaking. If a Chinese is sending you a message in Hindi, you might be aware that how does he know my language or what interest this person has to talk to me. If there is a Facebook account, you can probably go and recheck it and see if this person is posting more than 7,000 posts in a day. So you might know that this is a robotic account and not that of a real person. So when your skepticism and common sense get together, you are able to tackle infodemic to a large extent. You must only believe in genuine information and not the letters that are circulated on your WhatsApp. If there is a letter with a certain stamp or a name of a government department, please go to the website of that department to check that if information, circular or notice is real. Don't believe in the WhatsApp circular. The government will not send it on WhatsApp. It will probably post it on a valid source like its own Twitter handle or its website. The questions that you must ask yourself if there is information that comes to you. If a message comes, please see if it is forwarded. And if it is forwarded, you must know if it is from a trustworthy source. If this message is actually coming on from circles and ripples on social media, or if a friend or a relative or a known acquaintance is writing it to you. Are the sources being cited credible sources? Does this message seem original or believable? And can you actually trace the source? If you can, there are reasons to believe it. If you can't, there are reasons to reject that information. For instance, if you don't believe me, Padmini is not saying the right thing, you will believe Socrates. He was a famous Greek philosopher. So even Socrates said, don't believe everything that you read on the internet. You believe him, right? Wrong. When did Socrates actually live? Those times there was not even a telephone. Leave alone the mobile or the internet or the computer. How would he make a quote about the internet? So when you look closer at a quote, this is an example to tell you, you would know that everything that a person says and is quoted with this picture to your social media account is not what he actually says. There is an example of Ratan Tata actually coming to his official Twitter handle and saying and debunking a claim which was actually circulating on people's WhatsApps and Twitter handles that said that Ratan Tata has made this claim about the economy. He had actually come and had to come there and say, no, this is not what I said. Please don't believe. So putting a name or a picture of a famous person does not mean that the person is actually saying that. What is your role? Now you would say, oh, people forward these messages. I don't. What is my role in spreading this infodemic? Your role is, it starts when you forward, like, share or retweet such a message. So if you are not sure, don't make just an angry face. Actually, Google the whole information. If this information seems dubious, report it. If you think that it is false, you must not forward it. Check any article for spelling mistakes or any such things that might ring the alarm bell. If anything makes you angry, then the chances are that it is a false piece of information because such information tries to ride on your emotions. Every minute, millions of fake news are forwarded. If you are an intelligent consumer of media, you must break the chain here and not send it further. If you need to sanitize your hands in this pandemic, you also need to sanitize your news. How do you do that? Fake story can catch 1500 people 6 times faster than a true story. Therefore, you must discard unquoted stories. If you disbelieve an information, you must go and check it on an official website. Discourage fake news forwards. Dismiss photos and videos that are not verified. Develop critical thinking and check your facts before a fake story checkmates you. You are students of media. You are more intelligent than the rest of the society. Please get educated on it and educate the people around you. So, the pandemic is still tackleable, but the infodemic is out there to catch you in its claws. But then you are not alone in this war or battle of fighting the infodemic. There are so many organizations that are with you. WHO expressed concern on 15 February 2020 about the rising infodemics. Government of India has issued directives to social media companies in the country to stop misinformation spread on COVID-19. All the searches about coronavirus on the social media actually lead you to links of the official websites of the government or WHO. There are also many companies, social media companies that are coming and joining hands to fight the infodemic. Google fact check tools are there. The Press Information Bureau of India, through their fake news detection initiative, which is PIB fact check, is helping you. You can put any piece of news on PIB fact check and it will tell you whether it is true or false. India today has started an anti-fake news war room. Fact-checking organizations like Full Fact and Snoops, and even tech giants like Facebook, Microsoft, Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit have pledged to work together to fight the virus misinformation. There is so much support. On your screens, you can see the link of the government website that actually works on tackling the fake information. On the site, there are different segments that are made. These segments about whether you should eat eggs during coronavirus, does lighting candles lead the coronavirus to go away? These are all fake facts, and therefore the government has debunked the rumors. Rumors about pensions, about schools opening, about exams, about health claims, about so many things are there on the government website. And when you go to any social media site like Flipkart, Amazon, Paytm, there is a link which is given to the correct government information site for the COVID-19 information. How many people have actually caught this disease, how many have had to lose their lives, how many have got cured, how many ongoing patients are there. All this information is there on a link which is being floated on all the social media websites. Apart from the government, Facebook is coming up with small videos, so is BBC. Small 1-2 minute videos that you can see on YouTube on their sites that tell you how to debunk this news. Apart from this, Facebook has said that it will rate COVID-19 related content as true or false. If it is rated false, it will limit its spread. If you notify a particular content as fact checked, only then will Facebook actually put it on its account. Instagram has also said that to provide information in 8 local Indian languages from local authorities to fight misinformation. It has banned ads of face masks or any business which is looking to encash the coronavirus keyword. Even WhatsApp has started limiting the spread. You can't forward messages to more than 5 people at a time, and if there are sensitive messages, sometimes only limited to 1 person. It has also started end-to-end encryption that makes it difficult for you to actually send the message further. WhatsApp has also started helpline numbers where you can report these messages. But friends, with all this, something that is very important is for you and me to report the messages. They will not detect it on their own. Even YouTube has said that if we detect some videos that are promoting magical remedies or some bloggers or such videos for coronavirus, we will immediately take them down. But if we detect, for detection, We have to be the corona warriors. We have to tell these social media sites that these are the videos that you need to take down. Only if we report or complain will we be able to take action against such things. There are, apart from this, many fact-checking organizations like Reuters, First Draft, Alt News, BBC, Google. For Hindi, it is Vishwas News, PIB, Facebook Videos, Health Analytics Asia, Boom Live, and many other tools are there that help you to detect and check the fake news. So if there is an advisory issued by the government, like many people said that about the electric grid failing, an advisory has been issued by the government, which was a fake information, please go to that particular website and check it. There are academicians who are trying to give articles in newspapers against this. There are many technical debunking tools that I will not be able to talk about today, but if you get interested in this by listening to this discourse today, you can actually go ahead and try to learn these. There are YouTube videos available on them. There are tools like snipping tools, reverse image checking, where you can put an image on Google and it will check the reverse information about that image. Google extensions for image checkings are there, Invid plugin, thumbnails, metadata, image magnifiers to zoom and actually see the image, double quote search, frame by frame to detect deep fakes or morphed photos. All these debunking tools are easily available on the internet. Now let us try to debunk some of my favorite rumors related to COVID-19, which were very capable of destroying our health if we believed in them. The first one you can see is a map, which is circulated even by some of the news channels, a map that claimed that this is how corona patients would travel the world and impact the world. In fact, this is an old map which was made by a travel agency just to show that how in these days the world has become a smaller place and people are traveling here and there. Such things create terror and panic in our minds and they impact our mental health. There were reports that government is cutting 20% of central government pensioners, and the government on its site debunked this as saying it is fake. Also, there was a fake news about that the PM is giving 15,000 rupees in all the accounts of people. So this was again on the government website where it was being debunked. Apart from this, one of my very favorites is about the miracle minerals. There is a YouTuber by the name of Jordan Sether who has many thousands of followers across different platforms, and he has been claiming about MMS, which is a miracle mineral supplement that can wipe out coronavirus. This contains chlorine dioxide, which is a bleaching agent. And it is such a dangerous mineral that US Food and Drug Administration, that is FDA, warned people about drinking MMS, that it can not cure corona, but it can lead to the deprivation or deterioration of your health instead. There's a rumor about garlics and onions. If you eat garlics, corona will go away. So friends, generally these are not harmful things. I mean, you can have garlic, it is good for health, probably onions are good for health, but these rumors become dangerous when people believe in them to actually put their health at risk. For instance, a woman in China believed this and she ate kilos of raw garlic and she actually had to be hospitalized. When these rumors get believed to this extent, then they become dangerous. You should drink water every 15 minutes and corona will be wiped out through your urine or sweat. Again, a fake rumor. Drinking water is good. In hot climates, it is rather very nice. But please don't believe it to be the solution for corona pandemic. There are some that even you would have heard. Some of my favorite rumors are about drinkable silver or wearing silver nitrate masks. Homemade sanitizers that were later told that these are not useful because they lack the alcohol content that is actually needed in the sanitizers. Coronavirus and ibuprofen, aspirin, cow dung or urine would cure corona. Non-vegetarian food should not be had. Salt gargles are the best cure for corona. COVID-19 can go away if you apply hair dryer, hot air to yourself every few minutes. And then there's my favorite one about coronavirus is written on the Dettol bottle. So we were all given those enlarged images of a Dettol bottle on our WhatsApp where it said, oh, this cures it. But these were all rumors again. So please don't believe in them. There are many facts versus fiction. Coconut oil was cited as a cure. It is a good oil. You can do oil pulling as told by the Ministry of Ayush. And that is good to have a good immunity or flush away the toxins from you. But of course, not flushing away corona. So if somebody actually contaminates this disease, and his people in the home or family say, oh, just have a oil pulling or mask wishing with a coconut oil, you will get cured. This will rather harm his health. The magic of 9, where people said at 9 o'clock, if you light 9 candles, astrologers were actually sending across the video saying that corona would run away. Is it a ghost that would be scared by 9? Again, a rumor. And then there's been a claim that it is an airborne virus. Now India knows that it is airborne, and these rumors or claims are being cited since 3 months. But we all know that it is not airborne till date. So friends, all these rumors come to us. But like you are doing social distancing to avoid the pandemic, you must also break the chain and distance yourself from fake news to avoid the infodemic. So if a fake information comes to you, what should you do? My brief advice to summarize the whole discourse today would be to do 3 things. And please look at your screens for the advice in summary. The questions that you should ask yourself before you share any piece of information on the pandemic that comes to you is, does the source of information seem vague or from a friend or a friend's friend that you can trace? Get to the bottom of where the story came from, or else do not share it just because you were sent this information by somebody that you trust. This does not mean that they received the information from somebody that they actually know. It might just be the forward. Second question to ask yourself is, does all the information seem true? When there are long lists of forwarded messages, or when a message or an email comes to you with a long list of receivers, it is easy to believe everything in it, but that list should actually ring a bell of alarm in your mind that it might not be the case of true information. Third question you must ask yourself is, does the content make you emotional, happy, angry, or scared? Misinformation goes viral because it plays on our emotions, so that it is a sign that it is not true. Again, dig a bit deeper. Scientific breakthroughs, prevention advice, or public announcements will come from reputable sources and not from certain forwarded messages on your mobile. So my advice finally to you would be, like you sanitize your hands, please also sanitize your ears, your eyes, and look for the news that you don't have to send forward. Please be aware. So if you use a little bit of common sense, a little bit of general knowledge, and a little bit of awareness, you can actually break the chain and lead to fighting of the infodemic in a prudent and a good manner. Friends, the sources that were cited during this presentation are there on your screens to see if you want to dig deeper or dive more into this topic. You can actually go and consult these sources. And there are many YouTube videos that you can watch to learn about the tools, the technical tools to debunk the fake news. I hope this was useful to you and makes you more media literate, doesn't let you believe into the false or the rumors, and helps you fight the infodemic for yourself, for your family, and for the society at large. Wishing you all the best.